Hello everyone, my name is Junia and today I'm gonna talk to you about gender, grammatical gender in Russian language. Okay, so I imagine it is a pretty difficult concept to grasp for someone who is speaking English only or any other languages that do not have grammatical genders. I understand. So I will try to break it down today as simple as possible. So there are three genders in Russian, three grammatical genders. Masculine, мужской род, feminine, женский род, and neuter, средний род, which means like in between, the middle gender, every noun in Russian has its gender, masculine, feminine, or neuter. Okay, and there are a few hints. Usually it's pretty easy. Usually like 90% of the time, it is completely possible to understand the gender by looking at the word. If you have ever studied Spanish, you know, like the ending a usually means a woman and o a man. So for example, like niña, a girl, niño, a boy. In Russian it is a little bit more difficult, even though I know there are also like exceptions in Spanish. But let's break down the possible endings for each gender. So for masculine gender, usually it ends with a consonant. Okay, for example, stol, table, dom, a house, student, student, врач, или or doctor, which means a doctor, город, city. It all ends should end with a consonant. Okay. Next, и краткое, й, музей, museum, герой, hero. In Russian, герой is not only hero, it is also like a character in a movie, in a book. Tramvай, tram, masculine. And we also have soft sign, but soft sign is not really reliable because masculine and feminine nouns can end with a soft sign. For example, день, it is a day, день. You can hear, right? How it sounds with the soft, not день, usually to make any sound softer, you have to lay your tongue flatter and make the connection wider. Like you should touch the upper part more. Okay, словарь, dictionary, masculine, but we have ночь, night, or дочь, daughter, or тетрадь, feminine. Okay, and there are also a few masculine words, masculine nouns that end with a or ya, which are signs for feminine nouns, but they have masculine grammatical gender. Why? Because they are words of masculine family members. For example, papa, Technically, I guess papa should be the French. It is a word of French origin that we got. Like in French, I guess they say papa, papa, but in Russian it's papa, and it ends with a, right? Papa. But it's masculine. Мой papa. We don't say моя papa. We say мой papa. Okay, dada. Dada is uncle. Ends with yeah. Yeah, but it is masculine. Мой дядя. Мой дядя. My uncle. I guess you understand that the possessive pronouns like my, her, him also have endings, grammatical, gender related endings. We'll talk about all the other grammatical concepts, adjectives, pronouns, and verbs that also have gender related endings that you can use to understand the gender of the subject of the sentence. Okay, but it doesn't sound too difficult. So Mushina means a man, a male man. Mushina ends with a, right? But it is masculine. Юноша, which means a young man, a teenage man. Masculine, юноша, even though it ends with a. There are a few exceptions in masculine. I think they're more feminine. So, talking about feminine gender, usually it is either a, ya, or the soft sign. So with a, книга, it is a book, книга. Mama, mother, feminine. Студентка, student, he student, студентка, female student. Страна, country, страна, country. With я, земля. Земля can mean soil, ground, earth, the earth, like the planet. Семья, family. Семья. Неделя, week, неделя. And with soft sign, ночь. Тетрадь, дверь, door, yeah, ночь, night, тетрадь, notebook, дверь, door, любовь, soft sign, любовь, love, and the neuter, nouns usually end with o. Окно, a window, окно, письмо. Я пишу письмо, a letter, письмо. Молоко, milk, молоко, milk. Then it can be yeah, it can end with yeah. For example, море, sea, поле, field, здание, building. It all ends with yeah. It's neuter. Oh yeah. And we also have yo. Белье. It means linen or like sheets, like bed sheets. Ружье. Ружье, a gun or a rifle. And мя. Имя. Мое имя. Жуня. My name is Жуня. Имя. Name. Время. Time. Время. And семя. Seed. usually neuter nouns are not that popular. They are not as popular as masculine and feminine, and they usually refer to objects or concepts like time, время, time. Time wouldn't have a gender. Phenomena. Talking about other genders, of course, if you talk about male related things, they're gonna be masculine, like family members that have masculine gender, like that's biological sex is masculine, okay? When we talk about professions and the profession doesn't have a feminine gender, then we are gonna use the masculine form for everyone, but I'm gonna talk about this later, okay? I will elaborate on these feminist matters, okay? Feministic, and for feminine, again, it is for, if we're talking about people, that's gonna be mama, mom, and grandma, and professions, people like women that work in, like, for example, a teacher, учительница, a singer, певица, and so on. We will talk about it. Yeah, the rest is kind of random, because who said that a table is masculine but the door is feminine, right? It does make sense. Or like light is masculine but mirror is neutral, right? It just happened. But there are also, I think, most of concepts that are very deep and important to humanity. They are gonna be feminine, like maybe 70% of the time. So, for example, motherland, liberty, love, how do you say, justice, all of that's gonna be feminine. Yeah. The rest is kind of random. Okay, we talked about nouns. Now we're gonna talk about genders. So just like in, for example, Spanish, adjectives correspond with nouns. So adjectives also have gender-related endings. If you have a feminine noun, then you're gonna use a feminine adjective with it. Masculine adjectives have endings y, and oy. For example, новый студент, new student, хороший врач, good doctor, молодой человек, young man. For feminine adjectives, we're gonna use ая, яя, новая студентка, a new female student, хорошая врач, a good female doctor, молодая женщина, a young woman. Look at how врач, хорошая врач. Врач is masculine actually, because doctor is a word that doesn't have a feminine version. I guess historically, but again, I'll talk about this later. But the adjective is still feminine. Okay. So, and for neuter nouns, we're using ое, ее. For example, новое окно, a new window. Хорошее решение, good decision. And for plural is not gender, but it is another form for an adjective that I think I should also is neutral. It's not like in Spanish you can make a plural form of adjectives for boys and plural form of adjectives for girls. Like in Spanish, for example, you can say new girls, like las niñas nuevas, and new boys, los niños nuevos. In Russian, the plural form will be the same for masculine and feminine adjectives. So, for plural adjectives, we use новые студенты, new students, хорошие люди, good people. Also, gender is expressed in verbs, specifically in past tense verbs. So, for example, in English, you are listening to a song, and in the song, the singer, doesn't matter, like if it's a woman or a man, they're singing, "Oh, I loved you so much." And if it is like a choir, say choir, or if their voice is somewhat androgynous, you say that, like you cannot really understand who is singing, like is the author a woman or a man. But in Russian you will say "Я тебя любил" or "Я тебя любила." So when you're talking about the past, you have to specify your gender, and there are basically only two forms of verbs in the past. It's either for masculine or for feminine, and for plural. So three: masculine, feminine, plural. And for example, in Spanish, there is a form for I, there is a form for you, and there is a form for he, she, it. Yeah. In Russian, there is a form for I, or masculine or feminine, you, masculine or feminine, like it's one, or like he, she, it, masculine or feminine, or neutral. But neutral is basically like how can a concept or a mirror complete an action, right? So the past form of a neuter gender is not used, okay? Usually. So let's look at the examples. For masculine, we just use l without anything, okay? So он читал, he read or he was reading. Он читал. He was reading. Он пришел, he came. Он пришел, he came. For feminine, it's gonna be la. Она читала, she was reading. Она пришла, she came. Neuter is gonna be law. I guess it would be used for example, time. Время пришло, the time has come. Время пришло. Or письмо пришло, the letter arrived. Yeah. Or оно упало, it fell, like a зеркало, like a mirror fell. Оно упало. But not that popular, okay? It's kind of rare. And for plural, ли, они читали, they were reading, они пришли, they came. So let's look. I have examples. For example, студент пришел, the male student came. Студентка пришла, the female student came. Письмо пришло, the letter arrived. Студенты пришли, the students came, the students arrived. Okay, and we also use gender-related endings for short form adjectives. You don't have such a thing in English, right, as a short form we do. That is an adjective that is shorter. Okay, so this one is easier because usually for feminine it's just for neuter o, and for masculine just a consonant. So for a consonant, готов, ready, согласен, agree, уверен, sure. Feminine, готова, ready, согласна, agree, and уверена, sure. Neuter, готово, согласно, уверено. For example, he is ready, он готов. She is ready, она готова. It is ready, оно готово. They are ready, они готовы. And now let's talk about gender sensitive nouns. About professions, okay? So usually, because again, different endings mean different genders, you can understand the gender of the speaker, of the author, of the person that we're talking about. Like student, a male student, and студентка, female student, or учитель, a teacher, учительница, a female teacher. They are more actor, and actrice, actress. I think waiter, waitress, actor, actress. What would be the other examples of the gender distinguished professions in English? I can't think of others. Yep. So, писатель. Писать means to write. Писать. A writer. Писательница. Waitress. Журналист. Journalist. Журналистка. A female journalist. Спортсмен. Athlete, yeah. Even though sportsman is kind of like sports, yeah. But then you just add ka to this and you make it masculine. Sportsmenka. According to this logic, it would be possible to say businessmanka, not businesswoman. You could say businessmanka. So, feminine forms are often created with specific suffixes. Usually the initial form of a profession is masculine, but there are only a few exceptions, like babysitter, няня, or швея. I think it would be like a tailorka, sweepka. Someone who is sewing clothes. You got me, right? So typically, like very historically feminine professions, right? But if we take any other profession, we can technically just add a random feminine suffix to make it feminine. For example, ka. Studentka. Student. She student. Journalist. Journalistka. You can also add ница. Учитель. Учительница. Teacher. Писательница. A Okay, so not all forms are equally neutral, right? So студентка is standard, right? Студентка is normal. Студенты, студентки, it even has the plural form, like a separate plural form. But if you want to say something like author, авторка, there will be a lot of people who would say that this is not Russian language, that is a abomination. Do not ruin our language. It is not the literal norm, the literature related norm. Pushkin didn't say that. Pushkin is our Russian Shakespeare. So Pushkin didn't say авторка. So you cannot say that. I've gone through my very feminist era, so in the past I would try to add the feminine s suffixes to all the nouns possible, even if it sounded a little bit goofy. I would still use it. And with some of the nouns, and it actually worked. My friends and I actually use a few of these. We call them feminitives, so like newer feminine words. For example, gynecologinya, like a female gynecologist. Or we say я иду к зубной, like зубная, not like a dentist. Dentistка, okay. I think juristka is also sounds fine to me, but some words like for some reason like fotografka is a little bit weird still, and фотографиня. But again, it is all about the norm. Once you get used to it, becomes a norm. And I also think that language is a tool, okay? So you can say whatever. If people do not like it, they don't have to say it. And time will pass, and we will see what will become a norm and what will not. Okay? My decision. My verdict as a linguist, you can say whatever I allow. Just do not force it on other people. So, let's look, for example, Она хороший врач. She is a good doctor. But technically you could say Она хорошая врач. But that's weird. Maria опытный юрист. Maria is an experienced lawyer. So Maria, she, опытный, he, юрист, lawyer, he. Yeah, sounds. Maria опытный юрист. Even though honestly, Maria опытная юристка. Maria опытный юрист. Maria опытная юристка. Maria опытный юрист. Honestly, both sound fine to me. It's just Maria опытная юристка sounds a little bit like modern. Not in a bad way, but I also imagine this feminine lawyer, this female lawyer to be younger. Okay, if it makes sense. They are also common gender nouns that can be used to anyone, even though they are on its own masculine or feminine. Grammatically, they will adapt to any other noun that they are used towards to. For example, умница sounds like ends with a, right? A clever person. Technically, it means she clever. She clever, right? But you can use it towards guys. Oh, ты умница. судья, technically feminine, but a judge, yeah, a judge. But most of the time I think judges are men, I guess. Староста, a class or group representative, староста класса, like a leader of a class or your like study group. Зануда, boring, annoying person. All of these can be used to boys and girls at the same time. Then we also have neutral nouns, okay? Like человек. Человек technically is masculine, but it means just a person, a human. Человек. Специалист, a specialist, even though you could say специалистка, honestly специалистка sounds okay to me, специалистка. Yeah. Специалистка АСМР. Да-да. Сотрудник, сотрудница. Эксперт, экспертка. Could be экспертка, yeah, in my opinion. Пользователь, пользовательница. This one is weird. I think it should, I guess I would only say пользователь. Участник, участница. Клиент, клиентка. Да. Even though if you are going to like an office and some corporation is writing some kind of brochure or instructions, they will only use the masculine version to be neutral. Sounds weird, like you would not use the neuter form for neutrality to be neutral, but yeah, it will be the masculine form. But just like in Spanish, I guess. So I hope I didn't make it too difficult. I think the first part of this video is sufficient for understanding. Yeah, you just most of the time you just have to look at the ending. Is it a consonant? Is it aya? Is it oyo? And then you understand if it's masculine, мужской род, feminine, женский род, or neuter, средний род. Okay? The same way with adjectives. So, я твоя учительница. Yeah, okay. I'm your teacher. I hoped you liked my teaching for today. I hope you found it relaxing. Thank you for watching. Спасибо